Fort Hood, Texas, a sprawling military base, home to thousands of soldiers. A place where Vanessa Guillén, a 20-year-old Army specialist, dedicated her life to service. Then, she vanished. April 22, 2020, marked the day the young soldier disappeared, leaving behind a void filled with fear and unanswered questions. Her disappearance sent shockwaves through the community, rippling outward to capture the nation's attention. Vanessa's personal belongings, a haunting collection of her life's threads, were discovered abandoned in the armory where she worked. Her car keys, her barracks key, her wallet, her ID. These everyday items, now imbued with the weight of her absence, became chilling clues in a mystery that was only beginning to unfold. The investigation started, but doubt lingered. Days turned into weeks. Weeks stretched into an agonizing unknown. Hope dwindled with each passing moment. The Guillén family, their hearts heavy with dread, refused to let Vanessa's memory fade. They rallied, they pleaded, they demanded answers from the seemingly impenetrable walls of Fort Hood. The disappearance of Vanessa Guillén was not just a case for the military police. It became a beacon of concern for a nation grappling with the vulnerability of its protectors. The silence from Fort Hood was deafening. The mystery deepened. Where was Vanessa Guillén? As the search for Vanessa intensified, a disturbing undercurrent emerged. Whispers of sexual harassment within the ranks at Fort Hood began to circulate. These were not mere rumors, they were the desperate pleas of a community grappling with a deeply ingrained culture of silence. Vanessa, it turned out, had confided in her family about the harassment she endured. She spoke of unwanted advances, of a toxic environment that made her feel unsafe, of a fear of reprisal that kept her from reporting the abuse. Her story, tragically, was not unique. Countless others, both men and women, came forward with their own experiences, their voices trembling with the weight of long-suppressed truths. They spoke of a system that often protected the perpetrators, of a hierarchy that silenced victims, and of a culture that normalized abuse. The allegations of sexual harassment at Fort Hood painted a grim picture of an institution grappling with its demons. The disappearance of Vanessa Guillén, once a singular tragedy, was now inextricably linked to a systemic issue that plagued the military. In the labyrinthine investigation into Vanessa's disappearance, one name emerged from the shadows: Specialist Aaron David Robinson. A fellow soldier stationed at Fort Hood, Robinson was the last known person to have seen Vanessa alive. The weight of suspicion fell heavily on Robinson, his every move scrutinized, his every word dissected. His demeanor, described by some as evasive and inconsistent, fueled the growing suspicion. The investigation zeroed in on him, seeking answers in his actions and contradictions. Robinson maintained his innocence, but the evidence against him began to mount. The investigation uncovered inconsistencies in his alibi, his attempts to deflect blame, and his increasingly erratic behavior. The pieces of the puzzle were slowly coming together, pointing towards a chilling truth. As the net closed in, Robinson's composure crumbled. The once seemingly confident soldier became a fugitive, his desperation palpable. The hunt was on, a desperate race against time to bring Vanessa's killer to justice. But the truth, as it often does, took a devastating turn. The investigation into Vanessa Guillén's disappearance took a grim turn when the search led investigators beyond the confines of Fort Hood. The tranquil banks of the Guillén River, a seemingly peaceful stretch of water, became the epicenter of a horrifying discovery. Human remains, their identities shrouded in the murky depths, were recovered. The nation held its breath, praying for a miracle, dreading confirmation of their worst fears. The remains were positively identified through DNA analysis. Vanessa Guillén had been found, but not as anyone had hoped. The news sent shockwaves of grief and anger across the country. The young soldier, who had dedicated her life to serving her country, had been brutally murdered. Her body, dismembered and encased in concrete, bore the chilling testament of a heinous crime. The idyllic image of the Guillén River was forever tainted. transformed into a chilling symbol of a life tragically cut short, and a crime that shocked the nation. The discovery of Vanessa's remains marked a turning point in the case, shifting the focus from a missing person investigation to a murder investigation. The pursuit of justice for Vanessa Guillén intensified. Section 5. A nation erupts. I am Vanessa Guillén. The tragic death of Vanessa Guillén ignited a firestorm of outrage and grief that transcended the boundaries of military bases and reached the very heart of America. The hashtag #IamVanessaGuillén became a rallying cry, a digital testament to the shared pain and collective demand for justice. Across the country, people from all walks of life marched in solidarity with Vanessa and her family. They carried signs bearing her image, their voices echoing with a demand for answers and accountability. The movement gained momentum, fueled by the raw emotion of a nation grappling with the systemic failures that led to Vanessa's death. The #IamVanessaGuillén movement was more than just a hashtag, it was a national reckoning. It forced a long overdue conversation about the pervasive issue of sexual harassment and assault within the military. It gave voice to the silenced, empowering survivors to share their stories and demand change. Social media platforms became virtual memorials, flooded with tributes to Vanessa and calls for justice. Celebrities, politicians, and everyday citizens alike added their voices to the chorus, amplifying the message that enough was enough. The nation was united in grief, in anger, and in a shared determination to honor Vanessa's memory by demanding change. In the aftermath of Vanessa Guillén's disappearance, suspicion fell on specialist Aaron Robinson. When confronted by authorities, Robinson fled. Tragically, before he could be apprehended, he took his own life. Cecily Aguilar, Robinson's accomplice, faced justice for her role in the crime. She was charged with conspiracy to tamper with evidence. Her actions, driven by fear and manipulation, led to a series of events that shocked the nation. Vanessa's story didn't end with her death. Her family's relentless pursuit of justice brought national attention to the issues within the military. Vanessa's legacy became a catalyst for change, sparking a movement that demanded accountability and reform. In response to the tragedy, the military initiated several reforms to protect its service members. Vanessa's legacy is a reminder of the profound impact one life can have. Her story continues to inspire a call for justice and change within the military community.